he left. At school, I sat in my usual corner of the cafeteria, but for the first time, I actually looked around at the other kids instead of staring at my empty tray. Lucas Martinez sat 2 tables away with his friends, laughing at something on his phone. He caught me staring, and instead of looking away like everyone usually did, he smiled at me. Just a small one, but it was the first real human connection I'd felt in years. During PE class, something inside me snapped, and I actually participated in volleyball instead of standing still like Dad taught me. My arms remembered how to hit the ball, my legs remembered how to jump, my body moved without the fog of drugs for the first time in forever. Dr. Miller, the school counselor, was watching from the doorway, and I saw her write something in her notebook. When I got to the parking lot after school, Dad was already there, his face white with rage. The PE teacher must have called about my unusual participation, because he didn't even wait for me to buckle my seatbelt before pulling out of the lot. During the drive, I saw him checking his phone at every red light, messages popping up from someone named Mr. Gray that made his jaw clench tighter each time. That evening, while he was in the shower, I snuck back into his office and opened his computer, which didn't even have a password. There was a folder on the desktop labeled Asset Documentation, Do Not Delete, and when I clicked it, my stomach dropped. Hundreds of photos of me sleeping, close-ups of my face, my hands, my feet, recordings of my voice from the morning tests he made me do, spreadsheets tracking my height, weight, measurements he took while I was drugged. I copied everything to my flip phone's memory card, my hands steady now with purpose instead of fear. 2 days after finding those documents, I stood in the bathroom with Mom's old nail scissors, grabbing chunks of my hair and cutting them off. Years of control fell to the floor in long brown strands. The result was choppy and uneven, sticking up in weird places, but it was mine. The first choice about my body I'd ever made. Dad wouldn't see it until morning, and I didn't care what happened then. I'm wondering what Monica Patterson really died from, and if those medical bills are even real. Seems odd that Dad would keep using a fake name for the mother all these years, but leave her actual name on documents in his office where Ava might find them. His scream at 5 in the morning shook the whole house, a sound I'd never heard from him before, raw and broken. I sat up in bed as footsteps pounded down the hall, and my door flew open so hard it bounced off the wall. He stood there staring at my chopped hair, his face going from white to red to purple, mouth opening and closing like a fish. Then he crossed the room in 2 steps and grabbed my shoulders, fingers digging in hard enough to bruise. His whole body shook as he started crying, actual tears running down his face while he kept saying they'd kill us both, over and over. That was the first time he ever said there was a they, instead of pretending everything was normal. He dragged me to his room and pulled a wig from his closet, blonde and straight, nothing like my real hair had been. His hands shook so bad he could barely get it on my head, adjusting it 3 times before pushing me toward the mirror. The person looking back wasn't me anymore, just some fake girl wearing someone else's hair. He drove me to school in silence, checking the mirrors every few seconds like someone was following us. The second his car turned the corner, I pulled the wig off and stuffed it in my backpack. Dr. Miller was waiting at the entrance, which was weird since counselors usually stayed in their offices. She took one look at my hacked up hair and put her hand on my elbow, steering me away from the main hallway. Her office smelled like coffee and those vanilla candles teachers always have. I sat in the chair across from her desk while she closed the door and pulled down the little sign that said not to disturb. She didn't say anything at first, just pushed a notepad and pen across the desk toward me. My mouth opened to explain